Let's see if this is all working. Yep. Really dangerous legacy. That is working. Alright. And there we go. Alright. I'm currently on the PlayStation Legacy server. So there will be no Thargoid War content. Essentially, I'm going to be grinding cash the old-fashioned way, murdering Thargoids in other areas and doing copious amounts of passenger missions, cargo missions, and general manslaughter. So, if you're into that, welcome aboard. I think I'm a little bit out of the loop when it comes to Elite Dangerous news, though, because I'm seeing a bunch of stuff saying they're adding another 4 new ships to the game, but I'm not sure what to think. Because in the past, where I normally look around, there's a lot of art bringing up older ships, and I know the only thing they've really put out is the Python Mark II, and I'm not sure if that's fan art or actual concept art. Unfortunately, being on Legacy, I'm not sure if console is going to see these ships. Now, in the next few weeks, I'm probably going to start shifting over to PC. I already did the Portal when it was available, so that'll be nice. So I should be able to pick up from here, or actually I'll be able to pick up from a few months ago. But either way, I'm probably going to start from the beginning, and if I do, then I might end up doing a series, like a proper series, instead of the random scattering of live streams and clips I put up, and actually documenting my climb from, a little git in the middle of nowhere with a Sidewinder to a moderately more respectable git with an Anaconda, and to eventually a proper AX build. Admittedly, though, I'm not the best AX pilot, so don't expect any Hydra kills. But either way, first things first, let's just get where we need to go. Now, the reason I'm doing this grind at the moment is because I'm trying to get I want to either get a cutter or a Corvette. Wait, which one did I have? I've got one of, I don't know which one of them I have. Hold on a minute. Well, I'm trying to get this complete set of the big 3 and a Type 10, because it's funny to me. The Conda, alright. So, I don't have access to a fleet carrier or anything. My only majorly engineered ships are my crate here, which, hell, I just use shot cannons and a thermal vent laser. My anti-Xeno crate, go to Hoptel, which, yeah, that's a shard build. Nothing too special there. And, well, I have a drag racer, so that's pretty fun. And the Conda. So none of my real money-making ships, aside from the anti-Xeno one, are overly engineered. So what I'm going to be doing should be relatively accessible to most players. Plus, instead of just showing a guide, I'm actually just going to do it and have the entire thing on here, so enjoy the ride. My jump ship's pretty good. I need to lighten it up a bit, though. As it stands, it's got not a lot of engineering, just a little bit of Guardian tech on it. If you are on live servers, I'm not sure if this is going to still be the best way to make money, as I know that the Thargoid War still pays out the ass. But if you need something a little more manageable, this should be pretty good. So first things first, we're going to build a basic passenger liner. Something light with decent jump range. Normally, you've probably seen runs from Sothis to, oh, where was it? Rubgo. But I've actually found a faster method that lets you use the larger ships along the lines of a proper cruise liner, like the Beluga and the Orca, which I've found will net more money faster, while also requiring less jumps, which means less chances to get intercepted. But before we do that, we actually need the ship, so we're just going to head to a service economy station. Oh, so I don't actually have elite at the moment. I'm not an elite pilot. I may be close in two, but I'm not quite there. Where are you? Alioth. Okay, south. Dijon, Senons. Okay, I'm blind. Oh yeah, Bean. I forgot I had that. I know I have an engineer there. That's another thing I might do at some point, is an engineering grind. Oh, there it is. I'm right next to it, and I'm blind as a bat. Now, the ship I'm going to be starting with, the build price I am aiming for is roughly going to try and aim for a ship under $1 million. Because the buy-in for this method is about it's as high as you're willing to go, and it's one of those things, as you go, you can just buy a better cruise ship on site. I believe the station there has Beluga, or one of the 3 stations has a Beluga, and it has mainly business and economy passenger slots, which, not the best, but it'll work. That's what's important. When trying to make money, it's important to consider buy-ins. Sure, you can go all out for your money-making method, but you do have to keep in mind how long it's going to take to make that money back. I mean, an investment's only as good as its returns. But I'm not an investor, so don't take that advice from me. There you go. If I had any eggs, they're definitely fried now. A lot of the time, what you can find is that while jumping further to aim for the best profit can be good, the duration, or the amount of time that you're moving from point A to point B, does introduce a lot of risk. So things like trading or mining, if you're going to fly, you know, a few hundred light years for it, make sure you can either do it in about 5-ish, 10-ish jumps, or just sell somewhere nearby, and that way you can just go back and do it again, especially for a normal trade. You can, if you have a large enough capacity, you can do long haul and not really suffer. Stuff like a Type 9, if built right, can just be a flying fortress. But in something like a keelback or a Type 7, okay, maybe not the Type 7, it can haul ass and cargo. You want to be relatively snappy about it so you don't get, you know, plucked from space and beaten to a pulp. But either way, my plan here is normally I'd pick something like I don't pick the Python. I do not like the Python. Not my favorite kind of ship. I prefer a crate. It's personal preference. But either way, I usually pick a crate or some kind of medium ship or one of the higher ends of small, and I will fill it with passenger bays and a decent jump range, which I'm going to show. Have played a little bit, a few days, so it's going to be fun. Oh yeah, and there's also pretty simple ways to level up your Federal and Imperial standing if you're willing to put in a little bit of time and deal with some repetitiveness. There's 2 stations I've found that are really good for it, but if you can find an evacuation, that is arguably better. But that's something for another day. Oh, and I got that right on the speed limit. That's kind of funny.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, and for reference, I am using a controller. I don't use a HOTAS, I don't use mouse and keyboard. I just use what the PlayStation came with. Nice.
Docking confirmed. Power down your engines. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Alright. So, my goal here is to not drop below about... Ooh, what should my budget be? I said about $1 million. I want to aim for something under $1 million. So, let's start with... Wow. Okay, then. That just got punched in the teeth. No, screw it. Committing. I'm going to start with a hauler. Literally an entry-level ship. The most basic thing you could possibly do this kind of grind with. Oh yeah, and by the way, I am in no way an expert pilot. I am a shitter who plays this game casually. With a lot of these ships, so what we're going to be doing once we get there is VIP missions. Once you get to the VIPs, you are going to bring them aboard. Now, you can be stingy and only allow legal people aboard, you know, businessmen and VIPs and rich assholes. Or you could just, you know, set aside your quarrels about who you bring aboard, find a few criminals who pay, and deal with the risk of getting scammed. If you do, you get a better payout, but it adds a little bit of risk to make things interesting. Plus, if you're new to the game, it will help you. Hold on. Alright, if that's the case, I'm going to go for mainly economy class. Alright. You should aim to have at least slots of 3 if you can, but, you know, if you get 2, that's acceptable enough. Also, make sure you have a shield, otherwise the slightest bump will set these people off. Which is annoying, but money. Where are you? Fuel scoop. I'm going to try and keep this under 300k with what's happened. So let's go here, buy back this tiny little shield generator. So now, you don't need a docking computer. It's actually, it's best you don't use an automatic docking computer for this kind of thing. Just because, say you have criminals aboard, right? If your heat's high, they're going to notice you and they're going to scan you and they'll see you gotta get aboard. So, by taking off, or if autodock kicks on, if you have silent running on, something to keep you, cold, it'll turn it off, which is really, really annoying. Sometimes it'll ask for things, but I don't normally do that. I guess empty slots aren't too bad, I suppose. Just feels wrong, though. Low weight. Not that the docking computer really did much, so. See, they don't have shit here. Wow. Oh, there we go. Well, I could commit to what I said. Keep it below about 200 grand. Something that's very easy for a relatively new player to buy into. Now, I am just going to save time by... I'm going to fly out there in my DBX. Oh, wait, if I fly out there in my DBX, it's going to take a while to deliver. Never mind. Oh, I only have... So, the route that we're doing, you only need about 9 light years of jump range. So do keep that in mind. You're not running a marathon once you get out there. It's just getting there that can be a little tedious. So I do recommend, if you have something with a better jump range, you jump out there and get it shipped out. Otherwise you'll be at it for a bit. And also, style points. Very important. I have nothing. I have nothing. Never mind. We do not need style points where we're going. Don't have weapons, but fuck it. And one thing you are going to want, just for, convenience, they don't have, okay, you want heat sinks. They don't have any, though. So, this is going to be interesting. Oh yeah, if there is a new person actually watching this, I'll be surprised if there is, but if you're there, grind to Elite. It's a bit tedious and it'll take you a while, but in doing so you'll make a bunch of cash. Actually, this will help with that. But what you're going to do is you're going to get to Elite in something and you'll get access to Jameson Memorial. If you're in open play, you'll probably get shot at a lot there, but they have every component and every ship in the game plus engineers. Well, or not, they have an engineer, not the engineers. Tech vendors, that's the one. So, you can basically fit anything you want. So, actually, here's what we're going to do. So you can make almost any ship do this, to a limited degree of success. Where did my heat sinks go? Oh yeah, prismatics. They're very good shields, but they are tedious. Like, getting them can be a pain. So. But yeah, you can, in theory, do this with a Sidewinder. Like, what ship you use is entirely up to you as long as it can have, passenger cabins and jump range of 8 or 9. It's not very hard. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Screw it. We're already flying by the seat of our, seat of our pants. I will just figure something out when I'm out there for a proper cruise ship. It's not going to be super impressive, but if it carries people, it's enough.
Detach is good. You are go for departure.
Landing gear retracted.
Oh yeah, if you're going to plot your route, at least be out of the mouth of the station, or still docked. Otherwise, you will get blown up. And if you fly away too far out from the station, you'll get blown up as well. Alright.
You're all clear. You're clear to resume own navigation.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh yeah, and also, a decent thing to do, maybe around the midpoint in your gameplay, is to go do Guardian grinding. It's a little annoying. You gotta use an SRV, and it's a little clunky in the ruins. But you can end up getting some modules that let you kind of boycott engineering for a little bit. It's very good for while you're still getting situated. Plus, it makes your ship hotter, so you'll get more used to managing heat. But an actual engineered power plant, for example, will give you more power than a Guardian one. But you gotta grind out the materials for it, so sometimes you just don't feel like it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Plus, they're kind of heavy. I always find it funny how the bobbleheads, they bob in the same way at the same time. It's like, except there when you jump out, I suppose.
Fuel scooping.
Also, I might do some for the warship videos, just for fun.
Fuel
I spent way too much on their recent event.
It's
fun, though.
Charging.
Their stats are pretty good. In general, though, it does seem like Elite Dangerous is making a comeback. I kind of just wish I was on the right platform to see it. I also wish they'd bring back Galnet. One thing I have to listen to is lore, which I'm fine with, but, you know, I already listen to it all.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just cause. When you're flying through the bubble, it doesn't really pay to, you know, scan things, but it can be a decent way to make, like, 50k going from point A to point B. It's enough to cover your gas and all. So, you know, that's nice. You just gotta make sure you're going over 20 light years, otherwise you won't be able to sell it. Oh yeah, and always bring a fuel scoop. If you don't bring a fuel scoop, you're gonna get stranded, and that's gonna be embarrassing as hell. And early on, that can be very dissuading.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
If you're looking for a starter jump ship, I also recommend a hauler. When you build them right, they can pull about 30 light years per jump, which isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but early on, that's enough to get around the bubble. Want to do something like that, you just get a good frame shift drive, best one you can, and then derate everything, and kind of just carve out the inside. Just put a, you know, maybe a fuel tank and a fuel scoop in there. That's all you really need.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh. Oh yeah, normally a good rule of thumb is to don't start jumping until you see the fuel scoop thing's gone. I did not do that,
4,
but you should.
2,
You can overheat a lot, which is always pretty annoying.
fuel scooping.
Oh yeah, and there's also a few neutron stars in the bubble. They're pretty good for transit because they will multiply your jump range by 4. So the better your jump range is, the more you're going to benefit.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So
Frameshift
something
drive
built like
charging.
mine, you'll end up getting about, about 300 light years of jump range, which is ridiculous. And with the hauler, you'll get close to about 120, 130.
3, 2, 1.
But when it comes to exploration and jump ships, though, just pick what feels good. Except for like federal ships or dedicated Imperial ships, their jump range isn't always the best. Except the courier. And here we are.
Fuel scooping.
Seos may be Seos is a federal system. It's a lot closer to your destination, so this means you're going to do a lot of very short jumps
Frameshift drive
to and from it.
charging.
So it means you can very quickly build federal reputation, your exploration rank, money, and I don't know. It's just kind of fun to go back and forth sometimes.
2, 1.
Thinking hard. Let's start with Brunel. When you're starting out, it's probably best to just do legal contracts. If you pick criminals, you may end up getting blown up while you're trying to get the hang of everything. I don't think there's anyone watching, but hey, talking to myself is okay. Yeah. I like the fact that with Super Cruise there are one second. Anyways, I'm back. Alright, so. Alright. If I remember correctly, there are a few ships you can pick from here. The fucking... Never mind. Alright. Yeah, if you have the buy-in, Dolphin's good, because you can get some very good passenger slots. Actually, that's what I'm going to go with, just to show. One thing you're really going to want to look for is you want to be able to go relatively fast. That way you can dock quicker. That way you're not having to stay in silent running as long. So let's outfit this. Oh. Alright. Frame shift drive. Shit, they have... Damn it! Power plant. Oh yeah, right. Lighter power plants, or smaller, high-grade ones are good, because they're more efficient, and at the highest, they put out less heat. So you want to underpower your ship, actually. As long as you have enough for heat sinks, which they don't have here. Great. Off to an amazing start. So, yeah. Yeah. Dolphin's a zippy little bugger, though. It's kind of nice. I haven't flown it in ages. Alright, hold on. I want to check something. The maximum hull mass is in our range. Cool. Prioritize the larger passenger slots over smaller ones, because a lot of the time you will get contracts that require a decent amount of slots for people. So you're going to want to prioritize that. And also byways are nice, because it means if you bump into something and you're not in silent running, you won't immediately get yelled at by the people you're carrying. Fun fact, they don't like running into things. Also just, toss a fuel scoop on there. Always have a fuel scoop. Let's see. A few cargo racks. Sometimes while you're here, they will ask for things that you can just kind of pick up. It's kind of rare though. But if the opportunity presents itself to make people happy, it's usually best to do so. They'll end up paying you more. Now, depending on what you're trying to get, you can pick and choose what your reward's going to be. I don't think I have libraries for this. Either way, once you got your ship and you're here, you're going to be looking through here. As you can see, I have done this a decent bit between these two corporations. So, you should always pay attention to where they want to go. Because they will get ones that's like, oh, yeah, let's go 30,000 light years away. But, no, I'm not doing that. And unless you have, unless you know there is a fleet carrier going out to that area, you probably shouldn't either. Because even then, it gives you a week to do it. So, it's not exactly fun, even if the payout is 50 million credits. What you should instead do is look for ones like these. Now, at this station, it's the entire bottom. So let's go here. And if you look through the right side in the blue, you'll see bits about the passengers. So, things like secretive, if they get scanned, they get mad at you. Or, hold on, I want to see if I can find a criminal to show that. No. No. Oh, right. High value. If they're high value, expect pirates. Maybe not pirates. Sometimes it's bounty hunters. Somebody's going to try and off you, and that's not fun. But sometimes it's fun to just ignore it and go for it. But here, criminals. You get scanned, system authorities will open fire. So, keep that in mind. Let's see. But yeah, ones that stack up these traits will generally give you a better payout. So, keep that in mind if you see something that's extra lucrative. Oh, screw it. High value. No issue. Oh yeah, and probably they're going to need a higher value slot. Let's just look through here. Our highest value is these two. And I know that they require the same amount, because their pay is practically the same. So, we can make use of these slots too. So this run, once finished, should net me about 2.5 million. Long as I just, don't get scanned. If I get scanned, they'll get pissy. So, let's give this a shot. Oh yeah, and as you can see in the little corner, it says illegal passengers, so, yeah. Oh yeah, once you're actually inside the station, they don't like to scan you.
Landing gear retracted.
It's just on your approach that you should be very, very careful. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into silent running, boost,
Silent running.
just get as far out as we can. Essentially just wanted to get out of range of scanning. I should have done this beforehand. And now we have the system targeted.
You are clear to resume own navigation. Have a safe flight, Commander.
Also, Dolphin is a very cold running ship,
Drive charging.
so as long as your frameshift drive's not going, it'll take a while before you end up actually overheating or something. But all these passengers go to the same place. I believe it's Cirrus Atmospheric. It's orbiting a planet. It's not too far from the main star, but it is a flight, so do keep in mind, if you're going to get interdicted, it's going to be along that stretch. Or literally any stretch of space.
Incoming mission critical message.
So just find this place you need to go. And just go. You can do autopilot, but just for the sake of saving time, I'm gonna angle down and just push the throttle. I believe there's a lot of videos out there on how to, cut this down. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to talk about it. But, you can generally just find videos out there on how to go faster. I think it's something like when you get to
Shields online.
go as fast as you can. Then when you get to about 6 seconds time before you get there, 6 or 7 or something like that, then you line up and let your autopilot do its thing. I kind of just skim underneath the orbital plane and it lets you go a little faster. And let me guess. Oh yeah, and if you see things like an Anaconda or a federal gunship on this panel, 9 times out of 10, you're what they're after. But if you just see cargo ships or stuff, don't worry too much about it. Unless you got a bounty scanner and you're not actually doing passenger missions. In which case, if you scan them, they might have a bounty. Which, it's a fun payday. So, I believe it's... Where are you? Okay. Cirrus Atmospherics. On the other side of the planet. Sometimes you just get unlucky, and the planet's in a spot where you gotta fly around. Which means you do have to pay a lot more attention than normal. Because if you don't, you'll slam into the planet, and if there was somebody trying to chase you, well, you're holding still. And you'll usually see a message up here where it says things like, you know, nav beacon data, and it will say like there's an enemy ship coming. If you see that, then keep your eye out. If you don't see that, well, you should be all right. Just, you know, be aware. Generally speaking, though, it's pretty easy. And then you just click on it, you'll start scanning it, and the second it's scanned, or even while it's scanning, you can just find the system you want to go to again, Seos, and just bugger off the second you get a chance. Also, this thing's pretty snappy, so it's kind of fun. Apparently there's some people who use this as like a combat ship, which I don't understand. Guess it's low heat though, so fair. Oh, and my controllers just died. Luckily it's PlayStation, so I don't really have to worry about that. Just plug it back in. That being said, I guess Xbox doesn't really use batteries anymore. Good for them. Oh, and I don't actually know what it means when the pitch changes as you're flying. Because sometimes it beeps fast, sometimes it beeps slow, sometimes it's high pitched, sometimes it's normal. So, don't know. Beeps are beeps. And as we fly back in, you pop your silent running, which you can't see right here because it's, you know, not on yet. But either way. But by having silent running on, you will be a lot harder for them to detect. But if your heat goes above about 50-ish, they seem to still be able to scan you. So be kind of careful in that regard. Oh yeah, that's on that side. Cool. If you want bonus points, you can kind of maneuver around to try and get more of a view on the docking port, so that you don't have to fly around the edge of the station and risk detection. Just keep in mind which direction it's turned. Does that.
Kruger, Tango, Echo, Sierra. The Federation welcomes you. Follow station protocols and enjoy your mission, Commander. Request approved. Proceed to landing pad 3-1.
Oh yeah, and don't crash. They get very, very mad. And they will literally cancel on you at the last minute. So let's see. It's down here.
Landing gear deployed. Shields online.
And that's how you do that. Either way, just by sitting down for a while and doing this, you can make a decent amount. Don't get me wrong, just going out to somewhere like Asterope and, going after Thargoids, good way to get cash. But this does reputation as well. And also I think you can get engineering components as well, which is kind of nice if you're in your mid-late game. But either way, yeah, so you can earn a quick buck that way. Like that. So that is how you do quick passenger missions. It's pretty easy. If you have a ship out here built to do it, you can just come out whenever you want and get it done. If you're relatively new at the game, that might not be an option, but hey, if you come out here, fly around for a little bit, you can make, a few million relatively early into your playthrough. Do keep in mind, though, you can find players out here if you're in open play, and sometimes they will shoot you. But, there's methods to play other than that. There's solo, closed friend sessions. So, you can kind of tailor the experience to exactly what you like. So, nothing wrong with that. Either way, anyone who watches this, I hope you enjoyed. And fly dangerous. And I've forgotten all the vines, too, so that's nice. Time for an awkward few minutes. Oh, never mind, I found it. Alright, cool. Fly dangerous. And have a good day.